So one of the things I also get asked in the office is what does it mean to be metabolically healthy? And to start off, I just wanted to say that the fact that this question exists is somewhat pointing at the fact that we unfortunately live in a world of chronic illness. And when people have to ask this question, it's kind of sad and disappointing, not to them, but to the fact that we have this normalcy of chronic illness existing within our societies. And if we don't know what health is, how can we aim? How do we know what to aim for? So that was kind of just my thoughts on that. But either way, here are some factors that point you in the direction of good metabolic health. So one of the first things I always mention is, do you have long-lasting energy? Do you wake up in the morning feeling refreshed? It doesn't have to be necessarily immediately as you wake up, but within the first few minutes, maybe 10 or 20 minutes as you're waking up, does your body wake up properly? And also, does that energy that you feel last throughout the day, and perhaps well into the evening? And typically, you don't necessarily feel something like a afternoon drag. You're not super affected by your food intake, especially high carbohydrate intake, although that's fairly common to feel tired after eating high carbohydrate load. But the idea is, if you have long-lasting energy throughout the day, that's a good sign of good metabolic function. Another one that I would say would be high pain tolerance. So this is interesting because with high pain tolerance, one of those things that come with that is resilience, not just on a physical level, but perhaps also a mental, emotional, spiritual level. So if you have all four of those aspects, the metabolic, the physical, mental, and emotional resilience going, then typically people with those four aspects have high pain tolerance. So another one would be the ability to go into restful sleep and to produce high quality sleep. You have good immune function. So people that have good immune function typically don't get sick very often, and if they do, their sickness doesn't last very long, nor do they have many symptoms, especially the severity of symptoms is lessened. Another one I would say would be high cognitive function. If you have good cognitive function, you're able to problem solve fairly easily. You're able to put complex thoughts together, to string your words together well, to recall memory fairly well. So these are all things that I think are good indicators of good metabolic health. Another one, and this might be controversial, but I believe the ability to be metabolically healthy at its ideal is to not be on any medications. And because if you think about what metabolism is, it's your body's literal chemical system that allows your body to turn your food, your supplements, into energy. So it's your body's ability to break things down and to metabolize them and to absorb them and to deliver these nutrients where they need to go. And so if you need medications really in any capacity, and I'm not talking about supplements, I'm not talking about, derivatives of foods, I'm talking about pharmaceutical medications or over-the-counter medications that are synthetic. They have been man-made. So if your body doesn't need any of these synthetic medications, pharmaceuticals, that's a really good sign that your body is metabolically healthy. It doesn't need these drugs to facilitate what are considered normal processes. Diabetes medications, for example, that with diabetics, people have issues with their metabolic pathway when it comes to processing carbohydrates into energy. So if you need diabetes medications, it means obviously something's broken with that pathway. And I don't think that's a sign of good metabolic function. So anyways, these are some of my 2 cents about what it means to be metabolically healthy.